Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. Welcome to the start of a brand new series where we're going to be doing things just a little bit slower. I haven't played Factorio in the last couple of weeks, but I have watched a number of people play Factorio in the last couple of weeks, mainly on streaming, and also some videos as well. I've watched kind of beginners and intermediate players, some players that are much more advanced than me, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit, but it's inspired me to work on a couple of Factorio series, this being one of them. And also, I've received some comments in the past of, I have a tendency to cut a lot of stuff out, do time lapses, and basically do a lot of in-between episode work, and I'm not going to do that this series. That's one of my goals. I wanna get every bit of it in there, and just kind of explain what I'm doing, explain my thought process a little bit more, and just kind of do it more uncut. That's basically the idea there, and we'll just see how it goes. I have another series that is going to be starting soon. That's going to be a little bit more brief, and to the point, with a lot of cuts in it. So look for that coming here soon. But as for this one, let's just jump right in. I want to play. I want to start a new game, and I think I'm going to go Railworld in this playthrough because I'm kind of wanting to go big, I think, with this base, and Railworld just seems to be a little bit more better for that, at least in my opinion. And I want to go in here real quick and turn on the research queue because I haven't done that in like the last 5 Factorio series, and I always forget to. I want to get that done. And one of the things the Railroad setting does is turn off enemy expansion, so I'm just going to turn that back on. All that looks good. Cliffs, I still quite don't like those yet. So I'm going to go ahead and leave those off for this series as well. The Railroad setting basically lowers the frequency and increases the size. It makes the patches bigger, but further apart to kind of encourage train usage. And as for maps, now I'm a habitual map reroller. I say this screen is very enabling for me. And boy, I will sit here and just reroll Factorio maps all day long. I could do a series on that. But basically, what I'm looking for in a map to play a Factorio, in particular when I'm thinking about building it up big for a mega base or anything, well, just, I guess, Factorio in general, really. I'm looking for my starting resources being really close together, but close together enough where we can kind of jumpstart the beginning, but far enough apart where I don't have to worry too much about the belt mixing and things like that. The resources getting on the same belt, having to deal with that. I would like oil close by. Uranium, it's nice if it's close by. I don't really, not too concerned. I'm not afraid of building an outpost to deal with that. But most importantly, what I'm looking for is a nice big open space, a space that doesn't have water or any resource in it. Preferably not very many trees, but a good area to build a factory. I'm also kind of feeling a desert map for this series, though it's not important. If I find a good map that gives us everything else and it's not desert, I'll deal with it. All right. Yeah, not really. I'd really like more space, I think. Okay. This is kind of promising. We've got kind of a nice big open area down here. Resources are kind of close together, but they're not so close together that mixing is going to be too much of a problem. Oil's kind of far away. A little closer over there. It's all right. I wish you could, like, save a seed for later. Okay, this one's interesting. It's desert. We have a good thing of trees up here. We've got all of our resources. They're close together, but and we got oil close by. We got some good iron patches all around. We've got some copper patches. We got a good coal patch up there. It's not perfect, but I'm liking it. I think we can make this work. Just thinking maybe running like kind of the main factory right here going down. Have our smelting in this general area, maybe our train station in this general area, power running off to this side or up here. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, this works for me. This works for me. Let's do that. Okay, so Uncut. I still have to work the intro in here somehow, though. I got to do a cut. I got to do a cut for that. So we're already breaking the rule. But let's see if we can do this, time this out good. Da-da-da, 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 chickadoom. Which is pretty much undisputed fact. So I really think that pretty much puts the whole Calvinism versus Arminianism argument to bed, really. But look at that. Our map has loaded. So let's hit tab. Let's get started. All right. So first things first, color 255, 95, 0 to get the old Kitch orange going. Great. And let's have a look around. So all our resources are up here. And I'm kind of scanning the area right now for some trees to chop down, because it is the very first episode of a Factorio series. There will be tree chopping. But I'm also looking around for any large rocks because those are extremely helpful starting out. And I'm not seeing any. We do have some over there. I'm not seeing any of the good ones with coal. But you know what? What can you do? Let's see. You probably want to stay a little bit closer over here to the coal side. So let's go ahead and get this set up. We'll throw like half of our wood in there for now. And throw half of our wood in there for now. We'll click Alt or press the Alt button. That makes it where we can show arrows as well as show what's being made in the factories. And yeah, I don't think we lucked out with any of the big rocks, which is unfortunate. It's much more efficient time-wise starting out to go and harvest these big rocks for stone than it is to actually mine just from the stone patch directly, which is why I key off of those. And some maps have big rocks that give you both stone and coal, which is really what I was looking for. Unfortunately, I did not find any of those. I think that's good starting out. Yeah, it's a very helpful to start out, but, you know, we can also account for that with more trees. I'm going to focus in the beginning on basically just making more of the burner inserters, or burner miners, and set up a setup where we're basically just directly feeding that stuff in. And we'll just feed them with wood right now. So yeah, we put the burner inserter down, we get the furnace, and that arrow is going to output directly to that furnace. We don't need nearly as much wood in the furnaces than you do in the miners. The miners are going to use a lot more than the furnaces. So keep that in mind, and that should be enough for us to create a couple of miners here where we can set up a coal loop. Now, if you set up your coal where they're kind of facing each other like this, this one will feed this one will feed this one, and they actually mine faster than they use stuff, and we're going to need some more fuel here. Let's grab just one piece of wood from that furnace there. So yeah, they mine faster than they use the coal, so this one will put its coal in there to fuel that, and then this one will put its fuel in there, and they'll just basically buffer up coal right here for us. So it's a very good way to do it. I'm not using any mods in this series except for the mods that I'm using, which is just one. It's my mod. I have a lighting mod that adjusts the light for me, make that a little bit brighter. And it's, you know, it's mainly for recording purposes. The videos render very dark on YouTube, and especially if you're watching it on something like a phone, or it's really hard to see. So that's more for you than it is for me. I can really kind of take or leave the darkness. Let's see. We should have some coal now. Very good. And we'll just go ahead and transition these guys over to that. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to gather all my wood, and we'll just put those in there because we do need wood to make things like power poles. All right, let's go ahead and grab some iron, make some more miners. Do we have any more big rocks anywhere? Just like anywhere. There's some way over there. Let's go ahead and set up. I'm going to extend the coal loop out so that we have 4 feeding themselves. So they're feeding in a circle. That'll generate a little bit more coal for us. And then the rest of these, I'm just going to go ahead and place down here to get more iron. Iron is what we need in the beginning. And basically, I'm holding the resource over the miner and right-clicking, and that puts basically half of what you have into that thing. You have to get a little good at getting things to go where you want to, because the it's a little weird. One of the mods that I do like to use a lot is called Even Distribution, that gives you a way to distribute that stuff evenly. It is fantastic. And it's one of the few mods out there right now that I really would like to see in vanilla. It's one of the vanilla things that's really truly missing right now, is a good way to distribute stuff into burner furnaces. Not one big rock. And I'm looking to the south here in the mini map. You can see that we got some red splotches down there. Those are the bad guys, and those seem to be the close ones. So we're probably going to get attacked from down there first. Just something to keep an eye on. We are on a desert map, or desert-ish map, I should say. And basically these desert tiles, they don't absorb pollution at the same rate that the green ones do. So that is something we're going to have to kind of keep an eye out on. Our pollution's going to spread a little bit faster. We got a tree break up here that's going to absorb some pollution. We just got a straight shot down to this one here. So that's probably where our first attacks are going to come from. And since this is more deserty, I expect the pollution to spread down there even faster to that one. Just things to keep an eye on. All right, let's see. Let's grab some more of those. I'm going to go ahead and start making stuff to make power, just to get that queued up since we do have the resources. We need basically one boiler right here, one steam engine to start. We're going to need an offshore pump, but we won't get that till we get copper going, as well as a research lab. We're going to need, and basically 10 science packs. That is what I'm targeting right now. All right, I think we're getting enough coal, or I can just start doing that. How many miners do we have? Let's go ahead and expand this out just by one. So now we have this big loop here. That's going to generate some more coal for us. Let's see, we have 3 of those. Let's go ahead and get one right here, more on iron. And where's copper at? Copper is over there. I want to go ahead and get that going as well. We don't need nearly as much copper in the beginning as we do iron. So I'm just going to set a couple of these down. And we don't have a lot of coal, so we're going to be over here very soon. That's okay, we can at least get that started. We don't need that much copper to start with. That's probably all the copper that I'm going to make. I don't expect to make more. However, I do want to increase both coal and iron. These burner miners, as you're making them, they're a very temporary thing, and they're not used for anything else. So the ones that you make here are going to be with you for the entire game. Most likely in a box, or some people like to shoot their boxes. I'm not a big fan of that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move that up. I don't know. It just feels wasteful. I like to keep them around so they can clog my inventory. Something like that. And if you can get these in a line, you can do that little maneuver right there and just suck up all of the contents of these in one little thing. You just hit the control button and go over it. And yeah, we'll just get these guys up and running. It's kind of a double-edged sword with the iron in the beginning, how much you make, because it makes the pollution spread a lot faster, but it also increases the production. So it's a matter of balancing basically the production that you have versus how close the biters are. I'm hoping we'll be fine. We might not be. We might just want to keep it at that for a little bit. Biters are basically a production problem. You need to outproduce them. And it seems like in .17, the biters are a little bit closer. They spawn closer. They're a little bit more aggressive, maybe. So it is something that is noticeable. How is coal doing over here? I'm basically just mouse overing it and looking over here to see how much fuel is in it. It's not looking great. But we can get some copper plates now. That gets us a lab, that gets us a water pump, and that gets us 10 green science, or 10 red science started, which happens to be enough to research automation, which is the first technology we're going to go for. And let's see, can we make a couple more miners? I'd like to make a couple more, just and a box, just to get some stone brewing, since we are very, very low on the big rocks in this map. All right, and I'd also like to get some power poles. Actually, I would like that to happen before. Let's see, power poles, more science, and then the 2 miners. This is your handcrafting queue down here. What you're basically working on and building. You can right-click on those to cancel them. And I think we need to go and check out the power now. That is going to be, we need water to make power. Looks like it's going to be over in this general area. So let's hike on over there. Let's see. I also would like a box and one of these inserters, and I'd like that to happen, I think, before we get those 2 miners. All right, so to set up a basic power setup, we need a water pump. That needs to feed into the side of a boiler in the little water input spot right here. And if you're not seeing these icons, this goes back to hitting the Alt key. That's what toggles that on and off. There's also a button down here for toggling Alt mode. I generally keep it on, unless I'm working with circuits. Sometimes the icons can get in the way. But then, yeah, on the steam input, we put a steam engine, and this is not going to a lot of power, but it's going to be enough power to get us started. I'm going to set power poles right there. I'm going to get a box and put that right there, and a burner inserter, which will grab coal from this box and put it into that boiler. And it'll also feed itself, if you caught that right there. So just keeping coal in there is going to keep that running. We'll have to check the coal from time to time, but it should be fine. We shouldn't have to check it very often, at least in the start. All right, I'm running power back to where my base was because that's where I want to concentrate a lot of our production. Are we close? Close-ish. Everything is out of fuel. Everything's out of fuel, but we should have a ton of fuel up here ready to go. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to place this lab down, and that 10 science that we created, I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. We are going to hit T to open up the science menu, and I'm going to use the research queue. I want to queue up automation first so that we can build assembling machines to start automating some of this stuff. I'm going to build turrets second so we can defend ourselves. And then, you know, it kind of opens up a little bit. Let's do logistics. We'll need that to work on our smelting setups. And maybe military. Go ahead and get these little ones out of the way. Yeah, that'll work. All right, let's see. Can we make a couple more of these? Yeah, I'm going to make 10 more of those for the next science. We'll automate that when we get automation. We don't have that yet, though. Get you guys filled up. And play whack-a-mole with coal for a little bit. All right, and we should have these two. I'm going to cancel that one, get a box, and then queue that science up again. Because I would like to get these guys mining stone. Now, stone, I don't need to process that right now. I just need the raw stone, because we need that to make these stone furnaces. So I'm just going to send that into that box. Put half the coal in there, half the coal in there. Grab the copper. Grab the iron. And I think this is probably a good spot to start constructing some of the stuff that we're going to need going forward. I'm going to need some boxes. I'm going to need some inserters. Let's see. I'd like another lab. That'd be nice. And, boy, I'd like some bullets. Let's go and queue those up. Hopefully we'll get to a point. Hopefully we'll get turrets before we actually need them. We currently have a pistol. It's not the best shooting thing in the world. We could probably take out the first rounds of biters with them. But I'd rather get the turrets. A little bit more hands-free approach to it. All right, automation is getting ready to pop. I'm going to go ahead and queue up some assembling machines. 6 of them starting out, I think would be a good start. Let's cancel the ammo. I jumped ahead on that one a little bit, I believe. But I do want to queue that up afterwards. All right, we got a lab here. I'm going to go ahead and move this. I want to put you there and you there. Let's put half the science in there, half the science in there. And then I'm going to get some inserters set up here. 1, 2, 3. And some inserters set up right there. And I want to go ahead and automate our red science production. And we get 3 machines, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to put a machine there, and a machine there. This is going to make the red science. That's going to make the red science. And you are going to make gears. Because the red science needs copper plates and gears. And they take a very, very long time to craft. 5 seconds to craft each one. Where these things just make super fast. They make in 0.5 seconds. So one machine can easily support 2 of these. Plus a lot more. I'm going to go ahead and dump some iron in here. I'm going to go ahead and dump copper in those guys. And they're just going to start making science. So as long as we keep those full of copper and iron, they're going to make science for us. And we don't have to handcraft red science anymore. You see we got turrets done. Very good. I want to go ahead and create... Let's go ahead and get 5 of those. And then I want to get these other 2 factories that we made. And I want to put those right there. I want those making bullets for us so that we can be nice and defended. And you know what? You guys just go ahead and spit out to a box right here. We're going to need another power pole to get you. And I'm just going to put iron in there, and that should give us, what do we do, 200? All right, so that'll give us like 50 rounds from that. All right, that is looking pretty good. I tell you what, let's go ahead and get another machine up. And that will go like right there. I would like... something like that right there, I think. How are we doing on iron? Not a whole lot. All right, I want you to make gears. And I would like you to make transport belt, because transport belt requires basically iron plates and gear wheels. They make at the same time that the gears do. 0.5 second crafting time, you see in the tooltip there toward the middle. And these make at the same speed. So we'll fill that up with iron. We'll fill that up with iron. And you can see that these inserters are going to kind of carry across. And we could actually probably do something like this. We'll just put that a space apart. And send you over like that. In the past, what I've done is... and send that out to a box. In the past, what I've done in setups like this is put another box for inputs. But since the Warptorio series, I've kind of just fed it like that. And in the beginning, you know, it's perfectly fine. It keeps up with it. You have to babysit it a little bit more, but I think it's going to work out. All right, we've got turrets. Let's get those set up. You can kind of see a green circle. I want to basically cover everything with turrets and focus more on this corner right here because I believe that's where our attacks are going to come from. So actually, I think I'm going to move these over here. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 of them down to double up. I'm going to put half the ammo in there, half the ammo in there. Pick up our ammo from the ammo box. Go ahead and gather all this stuff. Let's do another refuel here on the bullets. Actually, can you just take them all? That'd be great. All right, and before we wrap up this episode, I want to make the trek over here to power because I want to refuel the fuel box, so we don't have to worry about that. And now that I'm thinking about it, do we have enough? No, we don't. I might as well go ahead and double it up. We don't really need the power right now, but we're going to need it soon. So we might as well just go ahead and double it up. So we'll throw that down there, get another boiler. And I think that'll be good for a while. Until we get our smelting setups, that's going to be just fine. All right, just toss another boiler on there. Good power-wise. Throw all this coal in here, and I'm going to throw a couple of turrets down here to defend our power. All right, let's see. Let's get a radar down. And I kind of want to get... turrets are basically not defending any of this stuff up here. It's not likely that we're going to get attacked up here, but it's good to have a turret just in case, because you never know what those biters are going to do. They can be wily. And our pollution is kind of getting off of the map right now. So, oh, look right here. We're hitting this base. This looks like a raiding party that's getting ready to attack us. So yeah, it's good that we're getting these defenses down. Bullets. More bullets. And can we make another turret? We can. All right, well that actually was not enough. Okay, we actually needed more. We're going to need some repair packs, which we don't have many of. We're going to need more turrets. We're going to need more bullets, and many other things. Oh, this is not great. It'll be fine, I'm sure. What do we need for those? We need copper. That was a lot bigger raiding party there than I'm used to seeing for a very first attack. But you know, biters are gonna do what they can, I guess. Let's see, we are running very, very low on iron too. I guess it's probably all the turret production that we're doing. Let's take a look at science here real quick. Let's see, let's do steel, let's do electronics. These would be great, they're just really expensive. Yeah, let's go for the damage one. Do we have some repair packs? Great. Okay, I'm going to cancel those and put those on the other side. Actually, before I get more, I think I want to just handcraft some armor or some bullets. There's 40 in here. I'm sure that'll be great. All right, looks like we're missing some iron here, probably. Throw some copper in there. We're missing iron up here, but that's just a iron production thing on our part. Might expand that out to make that go a little bit quicker. I'm not sure. I hesitate to add any more because we're just adding these burner miners that we're not going to use anytime. And some of you may be saying, hey, why don't you set up your hotbar down here, your keyboard shortcuts? I'm left-handed. It's something that I rarely use. If that's going to drive you crazy, I apologize. But I feel like I'm pretty good at, at clicking through the menus, not using the hotkeys. All right, well, I think I'm going to wrap up this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode, where we'll start just basically right here, and continue on, and start making stuff. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.